Hi everybody, today I want to show you a new feature of Uniswap.com, the new visualization charting feature, and at the same time make a few comments about the overall profitability of Uniswap about 1 year after the launch of the platform, which was in November 2018. So now we are end of December, end of the year 19, so it's been about 13 months, and it's a good time to do a little evaluation in terms of what were the return. Only a few I think days ago, Uniswap tweeted that there were about $1 million worth of fees that were just reached as a milestone that have been produced by Uniswap. So that's more or less like the overall amount. But I thought it was interesting to zoom into a few concrete examples and show you what the overall yield has been. So to do this, so first we are using Uniswap.com, which is a tool to evaluate the return of your Uniswap investment, if you have any, or to evaluate pools where to invest and to find the best pools. So specifically, I zoomed into the investment analysis for a specific address, and by the way, these links will be in the description. Which was the address, the first address used by the Uniswap team when they launched the platform in November 2018. So when they launched the platform, Uniswap, the team actually created free deposit, one for the Ethereum DAI pool, one for the Ethereum Maker, and then the Ethereum Kyber token pool. And so I thought it was interesting to zoom into their yield and to do a few comments. So first off, in terms of aggregated value, compared to in USD terms, they invested 36,000, and now the value is 27,000. Like, this decrease doesn't really relate to Uniswap because it's a function of the price, essentially the price of Ethereum that's been decreasing in value over the past I would say year. So that doesn't really is not attributable to Uniswap. And in fact, the Uniswap had actually a pretty positive yield of if you compare the value, if you were holding, you would have now about 24,000. Now you have 27,000. This is the actual return that was made by Uniswap. But let's go into each pool and have a better feeling of what the return has been. So to do this, we zoom into the pool, and specifically what I want to point the attention to is this new feature of charting that allows you to represent your investment history. So you've been investing in Uniswap, you will see essentially a chart here. Which by default is in US dollars, but you can turn it in Ethereum if you want to visualize the return in Ethereum, toggling the switch. But in general, going back to US dollars, it's broken down in two components, like the blue and the gray. So the blue is actually the yield, the impact of Uniswap, versus the gray is the amount of money and the value you would have if you were holding. So the actual value is the sum of the two, and that's why they are stacked. There is the blue plus the gray, and that gives you the current value of your investment sort of today. Now, for example, like if we look at this first example, so the Ethereum DAI. So first off, like let's consider this. Like, the investment was made. If we go back, we see that the investment. There was only one investment made on November 2nd, 2018. And this was really the seeded investment, the investment that seeded the pool made by the founding team of Uniswap. And it was made on November 2nd, so about 13 months ago. And so that's why we see the chart here. It starts from November 3rd, going forward up to a couple of days ago. And what I want to point the attention on is really like Uniswap had in fact like a pretty great return. So we can isolate the two components. Well, first, we can see here. So the value of holding would have been like 9,500. Consider they invested about 12,000, but the price of Ethereum and price of DAI was stable, but the price of Ethereum went down. And so now that investment will be worth about 9,000, whatever, 900. The value updated to today will be 9,685. And by effect of Uniswap, there were actually, in terms of fee, already accounting fee plus impermanent loss. This is the net effect of Uniswap, was yielding about $2,100 of value. So now the current value is 11,700. So the return of Uniswap, it has been actually pretty great. And if we look at the net effect of the Uniswap ROI has been 17% over, as we mentioned, a period of about 13 months. In the current market condition I think is really good. Also we can isolate the effect of Uniswap to see it a little better. It's interesting, like at the beginning, the value of the fee wasn't enough to offset the impermanent loss, but then when the volume started to pick up back in January, February, March, April, the fee started to go up, and then we come more recent times, and this is also this sort of tapering off is an effect of the varying price of changing price of Ethereum plus the slowing down in the volumes of the single collateral DAI. But if we switch to the Ethereum evaluation, we can actually see the return even better in terms of Ether. And again, in Ethereum terms, like Uniswap has been yielding 27%, which is pretty commendable. And you can see here on your, if you run an analysis on your portfolio, you'll be able to see the evolution of the value that Uniswap is bringing to you. So I would say on the Ethereum DAI pool, Uniswap really had a commendable performance. Another sort of deep down we can look at the other pool where the Uniswap team invested at the beginning. Let's put it back into dollars, and this was the Ethereum Maker pool. So again, they invested about $12,000 at the beginning. This again was the November 2nd, 2018, and here the chart again shows us the value that would be in the case of holding plus the actual net effect of Uniswap. And here in terms of the effect of Uniswap, again, has been accumulated, has been in dollar terms, has been tapering off, again, due to the variation of the price of Maker and Ether in the last, 4-5 months. But again, if we put this if we calculate this in Ether, we see more of a continuous growth in terms of the return that Uniswap produced. And on the Maker pool, over this period of 13 months, we can think about the return between 7-8% if you talk in dollars, or about 12% if you look at the return in Ether. So these were the performance after 13 months, which is basically the founding date, the full founding period of Uniswap has been available to the public. And so I thought it was interesting to see those two investments. Also, in terms, this feature, being able to visually see the evolution of your investment was something that the users and you guys really asked for. So probably I expect to do maybe a few other videos to to show you specific behaviors that maybe some pools did, pool had, or some specific investment strategies that were successful. So this will probably open up quite of opportunities for education and to reflect about the Uniswap performance, how it works. So I hope this was useful. If you want to use this for yourself and chart your investments, is pretty easy. You can get started by creating an account. The account is anonymous. You just need to pick a username and a password, and you'll be able to essentially track your own investment and also look at the pools where if you don't have investment in Uniswap yet and you want to select one. So I hope this was useful. Happy holidays, and we'll talk soon. Bye.